I got a message from Tommy Chong, and I was so excited. I was so excited, you guys. So and they wanted to do a shoot at Tommy Chong's house and were inviting me there, and I said like, hey, like I'm not in LA, but I'll be down there soon and I can let you guys know and we can do it then, whatever. So I texted her thinking we were good friends. The next day she was like, oh my gosh, Tommy Chong messaged me too. They ended up having her do the shoot instead of me since she was local. Different companies messaged me and say, hey, I think that this is her messaging us trying to get us to stop working with you, which was like out of pocket and weird. I wanted to work with you, but I didn't because she said you were 18 and because you were immature and all this shit. Please don't wear that, the company's asking. She's like, don't say anything, like there's no need to be like, just be mature about it. I was like, I'm gonna dress how I'm gonna dress, and basically they called me right away. Instantly got a call from the lady at the company, and she was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, what do you mean you have no idea what I'm talking about? That's not who I became friends with. I know for a fact it wasn't. I don't know what happened. I don't know what fucking happened.
I let karma do its job, but I also feel like right now and everything that's coming out on the internet is karma doing its job. And so if I need to be a part of that wave, then that's what I'll do. She was really jealous of me and Mackenzie. If Mac went to go hang out with a new friend, like Angela would get uncomfortable. She would, just kind of make their entire house very uncomfortable. And there was several times where I was there that it was awkward as fuck. Awkward as fuck. She was very condescending, rude, passive aggressive to Mac Dizzle.
And Mac, you had nothing. I bought you everything that you needed. I loaned you any money that you needed. I tried to lock in as many deals for you as I could.
She is not who she says she is online, who she pretends to be. And I feel like that's really like the bottom line, right? Like, she's just not the person that she pretends to be online. She's not the persona she says she is.
Lexi June. I'm not really sure what happened there. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The sexual assault accusations, never have I grabbed Lexi's boobs, moved them up or down, said any kind of statement, and I want to make that very clear. Nobody's ever needed to distance themselves from me when we were traveling, when I was reaching out to companies and offering all of our services and making money for all of us. And now what? Everybody turned around because it's not convenient to be around me anymore. When I met Mac lost her YouTube channel. Mac, you had nothing. Mac, you sat here on this very couch outside and told me how you've been jealous. I don't post on the WeTube because I didn't feel value. I was upset that my photo or like Sasha's photo or people that have actually been writing for the WeTube wasn't used on the app as an example of what you're gonna see. That's being thrown back in my face. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna apologize for that. Why is Arend not talking about how he called me and yelled at me? How I'm so entitled that I'm requesting so much to have my photo or my profile used as a screenshot for an app. Everybody's coming at me, and I'm sorry to sound so defensive, but I'm not understanding why I'm being so gamed up on, and the people that rode with me where everything was amazing are suddenly not there anymore. I could sit here and air out all of you guys. I'm not gonna. Lining things up, trying to be good. Do I snap sometimes? Of course. I am so stressed, so yeah, sometimes that comes out. What changed? Is there because there's no more traveling and opportunity? I don't know. If someone can explain it to me, I would really appreciate it because I honestly don't understand.
The generosity that you showed me when we were friends, you were extremely generous. And I was in a tight place, and you offered to help pull me out of that tight spot, and I will forever be grateful for that. I've expressed my gratitude so many times, and I've apologized so many times that I don't know how many more times you need. I would like for you to go back and watch where you say, when you met me, you had nothing.
Mac, you had nothing.
That is an example of what condescending speech is. Simply untrue. Just because you had more in your bank account and more material things doesn't mean that I had nothing. How you treated people has led you to this moment. This has nothing to do with me. The only reason I ever opened my mouth about anything was because you are gaslighting Lexi. I fully believe that that incident happened, and you need to take accountability and apologize for it.
Well, hello there. So I was sitting here talking to myself and saying things anyway, so I was like, might as well film it, because I don't want to lose these thoughts, because you know thoughts, they come and go. It is way past my bedtime. I got my probiotic here. Honey, there is so much tea. I know so much. I was going through my hard drive, and girl, last year I was recording phone calls. I have so many phone calls. Girl. I didn't sign any like NDAs or I don't know any of these people. I clean fish tanks. I drink my probiotics. I do my own thing, you know? I keep to myself. But there was that one time I flew to Colorado to find out if there was fraud happening at the weed tube. Y'all remember that? I do. So he like threatened to like sick his followers on you. That I don't deserve to be like interviewing him. I don't want to send somebody to jail. We clarified that this information was like wrong. Yeah, that about sums it up too. The drama of it all is too much to take. I can't, but I must, for the sanctity of humanity. I was watching some videos on the tube.
When things like this happen, it's like so incredibly important that it is put on display, because we want these people to be held accountable. We want that to happen, because if you give someone too much power, they can literally shape not even just other people's careers and all the stuff like that. They can shape the culture of the industry within itself.
He had a shower on in the background. Some people might think it's, you know, aesthetically unpleasing. I found it aesthetically intriguing. Felt like we were talking tea at a waterfall. I loved it. So definitely recommend that. So I'm no stranger to weed tube drama. Clearly. I feel like it's been this unspoken thing that like Koala Puffs left the weed tube. Like everybody knows it, but nobody wants to talk about it. The reason why I'm even calling attention to this, I feel like there is a difference between cancel culture and holding accountability for someone. There was a great point in that shower tea video where
shape the culture of the industry within itself.
The people who are at the top of this industry are the people who determine who gets money, who gets sponsorships, what products succeed or fail. If these influencers who are at the top of the industry are contradicting their online persona, then it deserves to be called out to an extent. There was an incident that really stuck out to her where Koala Puff said like, your boobs should be up here and your nose should be like different. And just pointing out anything wrong with anybody is of course wrong. You should only worry about your own body. Like if you want to get plastic surgery, if you want to get a boob job, like fine, do that for you, but you have no right, and this goes for anybody, nobody has a right to tell anybody else they need work, that they need to change their body to appease their eyes or to appease the industry. Like that, nobody has that right. This is all allegedly, of course, but if she did that, of course that is awful. I think that it also coincides with this allegation of her coming around and stopping other people's sponsorships. She mentions in her apology that, and I'll just say right here, like when all of the weed tube drama was happening and like, you know, people were asking me like, why did Koala Puffs leave the weed tube? Do you think this has anything to do with it? I reached out to Koala Puffs several times. I'm not doing this for clout, obviously. Have you seen my channel? If I was trying to get clout, you would think I would make, you know, better content, for one. So this is something I was like saying off camera to myself. When you are an influencer, like when you turn on a camera, you become on. And this goes for anybody. Like, when you see a camera in front of you and you know that it's pointed on you, you suddenly become on. You're like, oh, and you arch your back, you straighten up, you know, flex your chin. You try to, like, be something, and that something is your best self. You're trying to be the best version of yourself. I discovered this when I was like 13, 14 years old, because I was making videos and subsequently like kind of commenting on how I'm different on YouTube and like fun, but then like at school I'm like just sitting there like sad. And I've spent, you know, 10, 12 years like trying to break that barrier and trying to figure out what is authentic to me, like what is my most authentic self. I think that's everybody's true journey, to be honest with you. We're getting a little deep here, but like if your persona is so drastically different from your everyday persona, like nobody deserves to stop anybody's sponsorships, to tell anybody that they shouldn't work with somebody else. Like, that is so fucked up to me on any level. And I know that it happens in all industries, but I guess I just like have higher hopes for this industry. We all saw what happened last year and how Arend also experienced cancel culture and being called out. And I think that it's really important to kind of recognize that situation, because Arend had a lot of power. And when all of this was happening, you know, he stepped down. There were other people that took the reins of it. Those other people were also bad-mouthing the weed tube and building an exit strategy. Like, Koala Puffs left the weed tube and subsequently, most likely, allegedly, bad-mouthed the weed tube and its owners to advertisers, to online, like, stoners, creators, like, different brands. I mean, this is something that has been consistent in everyone's story. People badmouth other people to companies in the weed industry. Like, this is a constant. There were people who were working at the weed tube were also bad-mouthing the weed tube to advertisers and saying, I'm going to actually like start a different weed tube. So like, imagine what that does. Like, Koala Puffs talks about when all of the like money and trips and brand deals stopped, is that when everyone started hating me. Why did it stop? Why did it stop at all? If you were someone's friend, you would be setting them up. You're not doing them a favor. And like, I feel like anyone who brings up like gifts when they're angry and saying like, I gave you this gift, I did this thing for you, that is a controlling behavior, right? You don't get to decide how someone reacts to your gift. You don't get to decide someone's level of appreciation for you. Like, you give a gift because you want to give a gift. You give a gift because you can and you want to, and you expect no payment in return. Otherwise, it is not a gift. It's a loan. Koala Puffs mentioned how Arend like yelled at Koala, and it's like, yeah, he did. I'm sure of it. Allegedly. Because Arend 1 year ago was a very different person from the Arend that I know and see today. The Arend that I know and see today is someone who's like on a genuine quest for happiness and peace and like, you know, doesn't want to harm other people. And like, Arend a year ago, I feel like was swept up in the control and power and need to have it be something bigger, while everyone who left, who worked on the weed tube, is also simultaneously bad-mouthing the weed tube, talking to advertisers. You've been trying to build this site, and then you see that like, you want to use a face of someone who appeals to everyone. She literally left the weed tube because she didn't get featured in the App Store. There's this bigger picture, and she even like admitted to it, you know, when she said that it should be for the people who built it. It's a common theme I've heard behind the scenes. A lot of the people who have worked at the weed tube want it to be for them. They want it to be their platform builder rather than a platform that grows. I think that people who have this much power and influence need to be held accountable. Why do you have to badmouth other people to get there? Why do you have to tell other people how they should look? If you think about it, the big creators who left the weed tube, none of them got their way. They didn't have enough control. They didn't get to build their audience in the right way. They didn't get like the certain feature that they wanted to have. They didn't get like certain things like that. And it's like, it all comes down to these people wanting power, essentially. And it's like, this should be about more than power. This should be about community, education. Do y'all realize how much money has been stopped from the weed tube because people like Koala Puffs left the weed tube because they didn't get their way? Like, it's insane. It is literal insanity. There are so many people turning around bad-mouthing the weed tube, and it's all about control. It's all about getting your way. It's all about controlling your industry, controlling your image. Like what is authentic, you know? I just can't fathom wanting to stop someone else's success. Even the people, like, there have been people who have done me so fucking wrong. And I still don't, like, I would never call their job and be like, hey, did you hear this person's like a bad person? Like, I would never try to stop someone else's success. That kind of energy would only stop your success. And I feel like this whole situation is karmic. Like, God, it's just like, imagine where the weed tube would be if everybody just like focused on their own shit and like wanted to be happy and wanted to post their own content and didn't care about like getting their way. So yeah, I don't know. I don't personally agree with cancel culture. Like, I don't think we're canceling someone by asking them to be held accountable. I don't think we're canceling someone by asking them to take a step back and say, hey, are you actually kind of rude and like not really realizing it? Like, are you making jokes at other people's expense? Are you dictating how other people look or commenting on other people's appearances without them asking for it? Then you may be in need of some help. Come on over to my masterclass. In this masterclass, we tell you to take 2 months off, do some tarot work, you know, get your chakras aligned, okay? And all I can say is a lot of people have told me that other people have said some really shitty things behind the scenes about other people, to brands, to influencers, about the weed tube. People who work at the weed tube have turned around, stolen advertisers from the weed tube and said, hey, you shouldn't work with the weed tube anymore because this is dead. I'm gonna make a new app and you should work with that. And then those advertisers just pull out completely. And I don't want this to be like me ganging up on Koala Puffs either, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to condense it, even though I've been filming for like 2 hours. Just trying to condense this and make it so that like you understand what's happening, but also you get some like new information and understand that this isn't a new thing. Like, it's not just Koala Puffs. Like, there are other people in the industry right now who are your favorite creators probably, and behind the scenes they're telling some of the brands that they work with that they shouldn't work with other creators. Like, this is a constant, and it's not just in the cannabis community, but I guess I just have hope that the cannabis community would be a little better, you know? I don't know. It's too late. I'm getting crazy. I think it's important that we support things like the weed tube, because the weed tube is bigger than any one person. The weed tube is a concept that I wholeheartedly support, and a platform that I want to see grow and build into something amazing that we all can utilize to our greatest potential. I think it's important to support other people just as hard as you critique them. Support the people you've forgotten about or in your subscriptions. Take time out of your day to find that creator that you really like vibe with and like just like vibe with them, you know what I'm saying? Don't let this drama control you, because it's not important. I don't think we need to cancel her. I think we need to hold each other as humans accountable for our humanity. You don't get to decide when other people love you. Don't cancel anybody, okay? Some people love and concern and hope for their growth. Anyways, I'm just gonna cut down this video and edit out a bunch of the other parts where I was like ranting and saying weird shit. Cut it down so that it's just like vague and me talking about like a concept. Hopefully you grasp that concept, And we can all move forward knowing that concept now. I just think people are too mean to each other. Like, it's kind of fucked up. Like, why are we all so mean to each other? Here's Jasper to, like, cleanse you. Yeah, he's very white. One time Jasper went viral on Twitter and they said he looked racist. So, until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and remember to always stay golden. And he was wearing a very racist looking sweater. I don't blame them. But Jasper atoned. He sat with himself and he thought, what could I do to help racial inequality? He shits on my floor every day and makes this white presenting male have a harder morning. And that means he's doing his part, you know? Doing his duty. When he does his duty. I mean, for anyone to have, like, this much drama when the world is literally ending, there are several